Namaste, friends. Thank you for joining me today. I have a flow sequence for you without any vinyasa transitions. So good for any wrist issues, shoulder issues, or just those days where you maybe want to take it just a little easier on yourself. And in Sanskrit, the word vinyasa actually means to place in a special or sacred way. And so in theory, all that we do is really vinyasa if we are living our yoga. But vinyasa has also been coined as this term when we move from plank down through chaturanga to either cobra or up dog, and then all the way back to down dog. So we'll skip the vinyasas. We're going to start today in child's pose, and I invite you to take the knees nice and wide, get comfortable, and then slide the upper body forward and support the head on the floor, or maybe on your hands, perhaps even on a block. And then when you get here, take a few nice full deep breaths and really just allow the body to sink down into the support of the floor. If you need to move in any way to make yourself feel more comfy here or use any props, please take anything you need under the knees, under the ankles, the heels. And then starting to tune into the breath here. It may feel nice to take a couple of those cleansing breaths, breathing in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Releasing whatever came before getting here with those breaths. You can return to just a resting breath, breathing in and out through the nose, and just really feeling into the flow of the breath here. Noticing how your body is feeling right now. Noticing if you need to make any adjustments to get even more comfy here. Start to notice the flow of the breath through the back of your body. Softening and expanding. Notice too the breath, the front of the body, the belly, the rib cage, and the chest. And from this cave of your child's pose, taking a moment to set an intention for this practice. Thinking about the kind of seeds that you wish to sow moving forward from this moment. And seeing perhaps if you can find an intention that not only supports your growth, but is also of service to those around you. What does that intention look like or feel like for you today? Just a few moments longer. Moving with an inhale, take your time looking up, coming up through all fours, and with your exhale, lower down onto the belly. With your inhale, look up, little cobra. And then with your exhale, push yourself all the way back to where we were. Child's pose, knees can be wide. We'll rest here for 2 rounds of breath. And then moving once again with your inhale, coming up through all fours, and exhale, lowering down with control. Elbows stay close to the rib cage. Inhale, find little cobra. And with your exhale, pushing back, child's pose. Holding here for 2 rounds of breath. And once again, inhale. Come up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, little cobra. And exhale, roll back, child's pose. Finding a couple more breaths here. And then this time, coming up, we'll come to all fours. And setting yourself up. If you need to pat those knees, grab a blanket. Cat-cow, inhale, looking up, lifting the heart. Exhale, rounding. Moving with the flow of the breath. Keeping the arms strong, lower legs strong, supporting you. Next few exhales, focus on drawing those lower abdominals in and up. Supporting the lower back. Take one more round of our cat-cow here. And this time adding on through our exhale. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, find a downward facing dog. Make any movements that you may need to here, pedaling the feet up and down, maybe just gently moving forwards and backwards. Letting the head hang between the arms. And feel as though you can just set the gaze either towards the toes or gaze down the sides of the nose. One more full deep breath here. End of your exhale, we'll return the knees back to the floor. I'm going to take this right hand now and thread it under the left, resting down on that right side of the shoulder, the head. Left hand can stay where it is. You could extend it towards the top of the mat. You could reach it up or even tuck it behind your back. So see what calls to you today in your practice, but feeling into that little twist that happens here through the upper back. Following the breath. I'll find a last round of breath there. And push down into that left hand and unthread that right arm, possibly even extending it up towards the ceiling, opening through the chest. We'll find one more breath there. And then exhale, release that right hand to the floor. So other side, we'll take that left hand and thread it under the right. Same thing on this side. Staying with the breath. Enjoying one more full deep round of breath there on that side. Use the right hand for support and slowly unthread that left arm, and again, option to extend it up towards the sky. Taking a round of breath and then releasing the hand to the earth. Find 3 more rounds of our cat-cow. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, rounding. Moving with your breath. And at the end of this 3rd round, we'll add on our down dog. Couple more breaths here. Listening to the flow of your breath. So end of your next exhale, you can start to take little teeny tiny steps with the feet towards the hands. And then finding a forward fold near the top of the mat, just allow yourself to release over the legs, and those knees can be bent. The hands can stay on the floor, or you can bring the hands to opposite elbows. Couple more breaths. And then taking your time from here, bend the knees softly, push down into the feet, and curl up vertebrae by vertebrae, taking your time to come all the way up to standing. When you get there, standing up nice and tall, finding your mountain pose, your Tadasana. And our practice inspires us to really look at nature and use it as inspiration. So many of our poses are named after animals, or in this case, a mountain. And of course, we have tree pose, which we'll come to later. So really feeling down into the earth with the feet. At the same time, extending up through the spine. And breathing here. Feeling the groundedness of a mountain. Find one more full deep breath. And with an inhale, you can sweep arms overhead. Take hold of your left wrist, and as you exhale, gently lean to the right, lengthening through the left side of the body. Inhale, return to center, release the arms. Exhale. Inhale, arms reach up. Take hold of that right wrist and lean to the left. Pushing into the feet. Inhale, find center. Exhale, arms release beside you. And then soften the knees once again. Interlace the hands behind the back. And with an inhale, lift the chest, look up. And with your exhale, fold forwards, bowing over the legs. Take a breath there. Then exhale, release the hands in front of you, back to where we were in that forward fold. Find one more breath. If you have blocks, feel free to use them here. Inhale, lift the heart, looking up halfway. And with your exhale, step back with the left leg and bring the left knee to the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Find your low lunge. Set the gaze either upward towards the hands or straight in front of you. One more breath here. End of your exhale, bring the hands together at the heart and just pause at center. We're going to release the left hand either to your block or to the floor. And inhale, extend the right arm up towards the ceiling. So again, finding that nice opening through the chest. With your next exhale, bring this arm down and hook it under the right knee, looking down towards the floor. Flowing here, inhale, reaching that right arm up. Exhale, hook the arm under the knee. Take that one more time, just moving with the breath. End of your exhale, stay here. Gazing down to that space between your hand and your foot. Rounding through the upper back, softening chin towards the chest. One more breath there. Inhale, right arm extends back up towards the ceiling. With your exhale, right arm comes down to the outside of that right foot. So again, either blocks or hands on the floor. Moving here with the breath. Inhale, rocking forwards with that knee. Exhale, dropping the hips back. Moving a few more times forwards and backwards, opening up through those hip flexors. Option the next time your hips drop back to stay here and work into straightening that right leg a little more. Possibly flex that right foot. And you can bow the head over that right leg. Enjoying a last round of breath there. Inhale, that right knee bends. Take your time, tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee. And when you're ready, stepping forward with that left foot, we're coming back to our forward fold, bowing over the legs. Enjoying a few more breaths here. And when you're ready, you can bend those knees just a little bit and slowly once again take your time rolling up, pushing down into the floor, coming up to standing. Inhale, sweep arms overhead, and exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Coming back to your mountain pose, standing up tall. Finding a breath. Moving once again with your inhale, arms sweep overhead. This time we'll take hold of that right wrist. Exhale, leaning to the left first. Inhale, find center. Exhale, release the hands to your side. Inhale, arms sweep up. Take hold of that left wrist, leaning to the right. Inhale, find center. Exhale, arms release to the side. Just moving with your breath. Hands interlaced behind the back. Bend the knees just a little bit. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hinge forwards. Take a breath here. End of your exhale, release the hands down in front of you, forward fold. Inhale, the heart lifts, look up halfway. Exhale, step back with the right foot. Take your time, lower the right knee to the floor. Inhale, arms extend overhead, finding that low lunge. One more breath. End of your exhale. Hands join together at the heart. Pausing here. And then right hand comes to the floor of the block. Inhale, left arm extends up. Flowing with the breath. With your next exhale, hook that left arm under that left knee. Inhale, arm reaches up. Exhale, hand hooks under the knee. One more time. Inhale, reach the arm up. Exhale, staying here. That left hand hooks under the left knee. Soften the shoulders. Find the breath, the back of the heart. Moving with your inhale, extend that left arm back up towards the sky. And with your exhale, left hand comes down to the floor to your block. Inhale here, exhale, drop the hips back. Moving with your breath. And this time, staying back there if that works for you. Straightening left leg to wherever feels most comfortable today. You can bow the head. Finding one more breath. Inhale, bending that left knee. Take your time, coming back to that lunge. Tuck the toes, lift the back heel. The back knee, sorry, and when you're ready, step forward with that right foot. And exhale, bowing over the legs, finding that forward fold once again. We'll stay here for just a few breaths. Holding in your awareness that intention that you set for your practice. Last breath. Once again, we'll come up in that same way, pushing into the feet. Knees can stay soft, and take your time rolling up. No hurry. When you get there, inhale, reach arms overhead. And exhale, hands to the heart. Standing once again with that grounded connection like a mountain. Find one more breath here. Then we'll move into tree pose from here. I'm going to stand on that right foot. So lift the left foot to wherever works for you, maybe to the thigh or perhaps as a kickstand against that right leg. And when you feel balanced, when you feel stable, you can join either hands at heart or perhaps even take the arms, the branches of the tree upwards. So wherever feels most comfortable. Staying with the breath here. Rooting down through that right foot. Taking a last round of breath. We're going to draw that left knee now forwards. And then take your time to step back to your crescent lunge, your high lunge there. And arms extend overhead. Stay with those breaths. Finding a final round of breath. End of your exhale, as we did before, bring the hands together at the heart, drawing everything to center. And just start to straighten this right leg as you ground your back heel. And then from here, rebend that front knee and open the arms wide to find your warrior two. Arms long. These standing poses are so wonderful for really connecting us to the earth, for grounding us. Setting the gaze along those right fingertips. We'll take one more full deep breath. End of your exhale, release the arms, straighten that front leg once again, and take your time slowly rotating to turn to face the long left edge of your yoga mat. For our wide leg forward fold, hands can come to the hips. Inhale, lift the head, lift the heart, and exhale, fold forwards. Hands coming down to the floor, bowing the head. Feel the support and the strength of the legs. Feel as though you're drawing energy up through the soles of the feet. The heels lift, the arches of the feet lift, the heels ground. Last round of breath there. Inhale, look up halfway, and then walk your hands out in front of so they're in line with your face. Left hand grounds down to the earth with an inhale, right arm reaches up. Take a round of breath. Exhale, lower that right hand back to the floor. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Full round of breath there. And exhale, release that left hand back. One more time, inhale, look up halfway, the spine is long. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips, strong legs. Engage the muscles of the legs as you inhale, come back up to standing. Pausing here, take your time, turning out on that front foot and coming back to our mountain pose, standing tall at the front of the mat. Just a couple more breaths. Same sequence on that left side. We're going to stand on that left foot, drawing the right foot up. Whoop. Finding your tree pose or your wobbly tree pose on this side. Hands at the heart, branches of the tree extended upwards. Really taking inspiration from our tree as much as they are grounded into the earth. They need that flexibility to stay grounded. Finding one more breath here. We're going to draw that right knee in front and then step back here to find Crescent Lunge on this side. Final breath. Exhaling the hands to the heart. Start to straighten that front leg, and as you do so, ground the back heel. And then take your time to open up into Warrior Two. Left hip tucks under, left buttock tucks under. Full deep breaths. Shoulders stay soft, gazing along that left hand. End of your next exhale, release the arms, straighten that left leg. Rotate to face the long right edge of the mat. Turning those toes in just a little bit. Find your foundation here. And when you're ready, interlace the hands now behind the back. Of course, option to take the pose we did previously with hands on the floor, if you wish. Inhale, heart lifts, look up, and with your exhale, hinging forwards. Extending those arms overhead as much as works for you today. Be with the breath. Final round of breath here, end of your exhale. Release the hands to the floor. Inhale, look up halfway. We're walking those hands out underneath the face. And this time we'll lift that left arm up first. Inhale, reach that left arm up towards the ceiling. Take a round of breath. Exhale, lower. Right arm, inhale, sweeps up. Full round of breath. And exhale, lower. Inhale, long spine, look up halfway. Exhale, bring hands to the hips, strong legs. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing. And pause. And then stepping forwards, coming back to the top of your yoga mat. And once again, finding your mountain pose here. Taking that time, just close the eyes for a moment and feel down into the feet and really connect with the flow of the breath. Feeling even in the steadiness, you can feel all those little tiny movements of your body to stay in balance. Blink the eyes open. One more time. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, taking hold of that left wrist, lean to the right. Inhale, find center. Exhale, arms come to the side. Inhale, sweep arms overhead. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, arms beside you. Interlace hands behind the back. Soften the knees. Lift the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Bow over the legs. One more breath here. And then exhale, returning to our forward fold there, holding on to opposite elbows and just letting the body hang once again. Release any holding through the neck. You can nod the head yes and no a couple of times. Soften through the lower jaw. Release any holding across the forehead and around the eyes. Notice if you're holding on to anything. Just letting it go. Last breath. I'm going to release the hands now down to the floor. And use the support of the hands as you walk the feet out just a little bit so that you can bend the knees and come down into your squat. Malasana, or squat pose. Hands can come together at the heart. Finding a few breaths here. Squat pose, Malasana, is wonderful again for really connecting to the earth, feeling the support of the earth, awakening that root chakra. End of your next exhale, come all the way down to sitting. And we're going to join the soles of the feet together here. Lengthening up through the spine, sitting up nice and tall here. And when you're ready, on an exhale, you can bow over the legs, over the feet. In our butterfly pose or our bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana. And use the arms just to bring a little bit of pressure to the inner legs, bringing them closer towards the floor. Taking a last round of breath there. Moving with your inhale, coming all the way back up to sitting. So from here, just take the legs out in front of you and shake out. And then we'll bring the right ankle to rest on top of the left leg. Bring the hands behind you. From here, I'm going to take like a seated pigeon pose. I'm going to bend that left knee. Flex the right foot. Ground down into that left foot. You can play with bringing that leg and the body as close to the leg as works for you today. Honor your body. No need to push or force here, but just another nice variation of pigeon pose. Working into the hips, the hip flexors. Last breath. Allow that left leg to go long. We'll cross right knee on top of left and tuck the left leg underneath. Sitting between your heels. Allow yourself to feel supported here. Sitting bones grounding. Of course, staying here if you wish. You can hold on to that top knee. Or if it feels good to then come forwards over the legs, please do so. Walking those hands forwards. Softening the back of the neck. 'Cause 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 Feeling the flow of the breath through the back of the body. Sowing these seeds of your practice, making time for your practice today to allow the rest of your day or evening to perhaps be a little more easeful. Allow your interactions with others to perhaps be a little more loving. Final round of breath. Inhale, looking up and taking your time to come back to sitting upright and just pause. I'm going to switch sides, so again, you can just shake out through the legs. And this time, bringing the left ankle on top of the right. And when you're ready, bend that right knee, flex that left foot. Find what works for you on this side. Even, smooth, steady breaths here. After your last exhale here, we'll straighten that right leg, crossing left knee on top of right, tucking the right leg under. Sit up tall. Find balance through the sitting bones. And if and when you're ready, again, taking this time to bow forward over the legs. Maybe closing the eyes or looking down the sides of the nose towards the heart. In these still poses, if the mind has the tendency to wander, just follow the breath. Feel the breath moving here between the shoulder blades, the upper back. Notice the coolness of each breath as it enters the nose, flows down the back of the throat. Moving with your inhale, looking up, taking your time to come back to sitting upright. Pause. And then uncross the legs and just shake out. We'll cross the ankles in front. Come back to all fours, 3 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, rounding. Following your breath. And at the end of that third set, you can add on downward facing dog, tucking the toes under, lifting the hips, lifting the knees, gazing backwards towards the feet. Grounding down through the hands and through the feet. Feeling that lift up through the hips. Core stays gently engaged to support you here. One more full deep breath. End of your exhale. Release the knees to the floor, cross the ankles behind you. We're going to come all the way down onto our backs here. And you can hug knees to the chest. Set up for our bridge pose. If you wish to use a block here, of course, please do so. Feet are about hip width apart, and you can use the support of the arms, resting either on the floor beside you or even perhaps holding on to the edges of your yoga mat. We feel this internal rotation of the thighs, so it's almost as though you were squeezing something between the legs. Knees and toes facing in the same direction. When you're ready, push down into the feet, peel the hips off the mat, roll up the spine as much as works for you today. Hands can stay either on the floor or perhaps interlace the hands behind the back. Breathing here. Grounding the forearms into the mat, grounding the feet into the mat to help you lift the hips, lift the heart. Engage the glutes. Stay with the breath. Take a last full deep round of breath there. And then slowly, end of your exhale, lower down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Allow yourself to release down into the mat. From here, draw the knees in towards you. Okay. Taking happy baby pose here. Maybe even rocking side to side. As much as drawing those knees towards the armpits, feel as though the tailbone is drawing down towards the floor. A few more breaths. We're going to keep that right knee drawing in and now extend the left leg along the mat. And from here, guide that right leg across the body to find just a single leg twist here. Extending that right arm out behind you. You can slowly turn the head in the same direction as the right arm. Finding your twist here. Releasing the right shoulder down into the earth. Last breath. Your inhale, come back to center. Bring the feet to the floor for a moment and allow the hips to find center before taking your twist on the other side. Left knee now draws in, right leg goes long. Guide that leg across the body. Taking the left hand, left arm behind you. Sending that breath up into the upper chest. And softening across the collarbones. And with your next inhale, come back to center. Bring flat on the floor. Release the arms down beside you. Maybe lift the hips just a little bit. Getting ready for Shavasana. Take your time, slide the legs out along the mat. You can maybe just shake out through the feet, through the ankles, the legs. Roll the shoulders beneath you. Allow the back of the head to be heavy on the floor. Taking a few deeper breaths here. Allowing the weight of the body to really sink down into the floor. So I encourage you to stay here for at least 5 minutes, maybe longer if your day allows. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.